Podcast. Welcome to the Hype Media, the Brother with John Harsey, Chewie Darso, and Emily Blake.
I'm all laughing.
That was my laughter.
Yeah, a special guest again this week is Ryan James.
Hey, I've come back.
Yeah, come back / didn't leave. So first and foremost, happy Thanksgiving to anyone listening on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Apparently only from me and kind of John.
Yeah.
To give a half committal. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey.
Got nothing going on that day.
Eat that turducken, kids.
Yeah, you know,
Technically, it's probably the day after Thanksgiving today.
it probably.
Well,
It-
so then
it'll
even
be-
better
it'll come out on
because
Friday.
they'll be in line. People will be in line for the
Oh
next
yeah,
like
happy Black Friday.
Yeah, there you go.
everybody.
Yeah. Or Thanksgiving if you want to avoid your family and listen to us chat for all of 30 minutes. I did see a joke online that really cracked me up that Thanksgiving is the only holiday where you deep fry the mascot.
yeah.
My Thanksgiving tradition is to listen to Alice's Restaurant while I'm cooking.
Okay. I
a Woody Guthrie
have
song.
like no fucking Thanksgiving traditions, like none. I don't eat turkey.
I like to watch Son-in-Law.
Yeah, we don't really do that though. We did it last year because
Because you
part of a
don't
battle.
like it.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
No,
Used
you're
to,
wrong.
Used to watch again.
I've
Is it
watched it
Woody
a few
Guthrie
times. I enjoy it.
We need to do a Pauly Shore battle. Have we done one of those yet?
No,
And yes, we do.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you.
Yes.
I'll just take In the Army Now so I lose.
Yep.
No, you
Or
lose
that one where
when
he plays
you
a
do
lawyer.
The I juror.
Yeah, the lawyer one.
Isn't he an
duty.
Encino Man?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's one of the
I'll
good ones.
take
That's what-
Encino
yeah.
Man.
One of the real good ones.
So there's really not a movie on the plate today. We were going to do the movie Elle, but I don't want to spoil it.
Rape.
Yeah, it's a movie about rape. And I was told and highly recommended this movie by a friend of mine from work, and she said it was phenomenal and it was great and it was all these things. And I do think it's a good movie, and I do like Paul Verhoeven, but this is the absolute worst time ever to watch this movie and talk about the movie. So we're skipping that, and we're just talking about, movies. We'll do a quick Where Have You Been Doing, then we'll kind of jump into what the episode will be. My Where Have You Been Doing, much like last week, I'm immediately blanking on what it was. Doctor Who. I have one episode left in Doctor Who. It has taken me forever to get through this season because I do not enjoy it. I think the writing is all over the place. I think they wrote a great character with Bill and then gave her nothing to do. They kind of forgot who Peter Capaldi is, and it's been a mess all over the place. And there's moments of greatness, but by and large, it didn't get interesting until the second to last episode, which I just watched and went, oh, why wasn't this the plot the whole time? Like it's
Japan.
especially coming off of season 9, which I loved, and it was so good, and they finally got Peter Capaldi, and it was great, and then this one feels like season 8 again, and it's just like shit. But that said, I'm excited to watch the finale whenever I get around to it. I've been really taking my time with it, and I will greatly miss Capaldi, and I will not miss Moffat. I think he did great things, but I'm ready for him to move on.
Moffat exhausted himself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Peter Capaldi suffered from. Matt Smith was the young, cute boy that brought all the girls to the town, and then they all left.
Yeah.
So that's not Capaldi's fault that there were so many fans that were just there for the man meat, essentially, and they didn't like the recast. I'm sorry. It was really annoying for me, because Capaldi was amazing.
And he, in season 9 specifically, he really made that character his own. We did an entire episode on it. You can go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
But, he really made an interesting, compelling Doctor that was very distinct from everyone who's come before him, and it was great.
Like, he really felt like he had the weight on his shoulders. Like
Yeah,
how
definitely.
Matt Smith was the Doctor who forgot.
He remembered.
It's almost like he was the remembered and the forgot, where he's trying more like the denial or something.
Yeah,
where he's trying to run it away from it and be a cool old guy.
Yeah, and that's why I'll keep going back to season 9. I will definitely rewatch season 9 over and over and over. This one, once I get through it, I might go back to the last 2, and that'd be about it.
But I'm very excited to see what Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall bring to the
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'm very excited for everything else coming out.
They need a shake up, and I think the shake up's going to be good.
Yeah.
Great.
Literally within about half an hour of her new costume being revealed yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was.
It was a week ago now.
No. Oh yeah, when
Yep.
the,
Yeah.
I was like,
travel.
no, wait a minute. But within like half an hour of the costume being revealed, I already had been booked to make 3 of those coats. So
That's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The only thing that bumped me about her costume was I saw it, and then I saw it looks familiar, and I'm like, it doesn't look familiar. Oh God, she looks like Mork.
Yeah, that's all.
But it
Oh
is
my
like
god,
that,
that's
like,
what it was.
her-
I thought she dressed like one of the old companions.
But the whole costume is a throwback to like previous Doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Which
also
is
has-
awesome.
She's also gonna have 3 companions, just like the first Doctor. I mean, they're not subtle with their choices here.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, they
and I'm
always
really
plan
excited
it.
for it. I think it looks great. That's it for me, though. I'm done talking Doctor Who. And what else wants to go next?
due to like the weird timing of it, I'll just mention that during the time that we're recording this, I'm going to AFI Fest, which I haven't been to in many years, and it's been my first time back since then, and I'm having a really good time. By the time this comes out, I'll have seen all the movies, so I can't really talk to one specifically now. So weird time travel-y stuff. Mm-hmm. But I always enjoy going to these movies, getting a chance to see them, kind of like whether they're good or not, and just a chance to see movies that maybe won't even come out here. That's what I'm most excited about. Like I saw Shape of Water, and that's good, and it's going to come out, and we're going to see it here in the States. But there's a few that I'm pretty sure that I'll see them here at AFI Fest, and that's it. And that's kind of a cool part of it, just seeing these festival circuit movies and getting a chance to do that.
Cool. Joe, do you have anything you want to throw in for this week?
I haven't been watching too much lately. I'm trying to refresh myself on the one thing that I did watch was the new Bob's Burgers episode, which was for Halloween.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
The
this season.
Wolf of Wharf Street, which is kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
But
It's so punny.
I still love Bob's Burgers.
I'm so excited for that movie.
Yeah. I hope it's a good movie. I mean, the Simpsons movie ended up being really good.
It's better than the show was at the time.
Yeah.
Wait, movie? Hold on.
I didn't know either.
No, the Bob's Burgers.
Oh, it was
Have you-
announced by the time this comes out, it's announced about a month ago. But
Okay,
as of right now, it's
Cool.
announced like 2 weeks ago.
That should be good.
cool.
Have you guys all been caught up on Bob's Burgers?
No.
No? So I can't
Yes.
reveal all the details on this?
I mean, it's cartoon comedy.
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
It's
Yeah,
not
but
like it's huge.
Well,
Spoilers.
they're kind of spoofing Wolf in London a little bit. Bob thinks that I forgot his name now.
Teddy.
That Teddy's a werewolf, and then at the end, the kids want to find the werewolf, and they just find a llama, which is hilarious. But later on, it turns out that there was a real wolf, and Bob sees it in a severely like medicated state, and no one believes him. He's just going, "There was a wolf." Sure, there was, Bob. There really was a wolf. And it's a really enjoyable episode. For a show like Bob's Burgers, where honestly, there's a part of me that's worried that it's going to run out of steam at some point. It still stays hilarious, and I hope it's like stays that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it was never canceled. Like the ratings were just not
It's-
there for a long time.
Yeah, but it's gotten that fan base that really holds it up, and it's gotten a lot of respect, and you see it referenced every now and then.
Yeah, but it didn't even get like full season orders till like 3 years ago, and it's in season 8 now.
Do you think they learned a little bit of a lesson from Family Guy that they canceled that after 2 seasons, and then everyone was clamoring for some good Sunday
it
night
could be something like
cartoons?
that.
They're like, you know what? Let's give this one a little bit longer.
Well, in general, like the whole family, like the whole family sitcom-y thing in animation tends to play out very well over the long haul. Like,
And it's on Fox, right?
right.
Yeah, that's why I
And
thought.
Fox always has a better track record, other than with Family Guy, with their animated shows.
yeah.
Yeah, they trust animation more than.
Yeah.
For the most
They're
part.
just on longer.
Yeah, that's true.
Emily.
I watched a DC animated film called Judge.
Where'd you find it? I've been looking for that for
Can't
years.
find that shit anywhere.
It was really hard for me to defend it.
I actually watched Harlots on Hulu, which is pretty great. It's about way back in the... I'm going to bungle if I try to guess the name of the period that was in. I need to look back at the costumes. But I think it's borderline Rococo period. Anyway.
No one else knows that word. You're fine.
I mean, I know Rococo.
Yeah,
I know the
you would
Arcade Fire
Rococo, of
song.
course. But they, it's a bunch of women competing to own brothels. It gets really nasty. It's very feminist. It's all about women owning their sexuality, but also about like being devious. It's also about like using, like one of the brothel owners basically kidnaps her women and forces them and even like will kidnap a virgin and procure her for rich people to basically rape. Meanwhile, there's another woman who's constantly in danger of losing her brothel, and meanwhile there's all these women who are whores just trying to make it work. It's very, very female centric. There are male characters, but for the most part, the story is about the women and about sexuality and about selling sex, and but all in a period, and so it's pretty fascinating. It's a look at like the main character has 2 daughters, and one of them is already basically she sells their virginity. That's just understood as part of the responsibility of being their daughter, and they're fine with it. One of them has long since had that happen, and she also had to find herself a keeper. So she's a mistress, and that's what she does for a living. And the other one, she's trying to do that, but she doesn't want to. And so it's all about like, yes, but you've got to do this because this is who you are. Your value is in being a sex object. And she's just like, I don't wanna. Meanwhile, the other daughter totally embraces it. The other daughter's like, yep, sexuality. I will fuck you, and you will give me money, motherfucker. It's like it's a really fascinating look at what it's like, or at least in that period, what it was like to sell your body. It's really I highly recommend. It's very feminist. I like it.
What's the name again?
Harlots.
All right.
It's on Hulu.
Sounds good. I haven't been doing a whole lot. I'm just going to run through a few TV series now. We're kind of in the middle end of the first part of the season. Stranger Things. I'm sure you guys talked about Stranger Things too already. Fantastic. Highly recommend anyone go out and binge that. I've been keeping up with Gotham, which is actually getting better than it has in years past. I know some people jumped ship a while back.
I never even got
early
on ship.
season 1. I never
Yeah,
went back, and
so-
I hear it got way better.
It definitely got way better since season 1. I think some people I talk to are super comic nerds, and they have a problem with how big of a departure it is from the well-known Batman canon. But I like that. It's a different story, and it fits in, and there's lots of Easter eggs. I get to go, ooh, from the comics.
Yeah,
ooh, from the comics.
I've never understood why people care about that. Like, have you read Gotham White Knight? It's fantastic.
Sounds great
It's
to
only
me.
2 issues in right now. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, I meant to ask you about that. I haven't read it yet, but I have the first 2 issues. So.
I'm gonna wait. I'm done. I'm gonna wait till the trade comes out because
Oh, okay.
I can't do this one week to week. It's too good.
Cool. And then I guess I'm almost done with Inhumans at this point, and it is not for anybody.
I gave up.
I cannot recommend a
bother.
single human being.
Especially with Gifted on. At
yeah,
the same time.
yeah. I started Gifted, fantastic X-Men show. Inhumans, like it seemed like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wanted to take the concept of Inhumans and make them X-Men, and this movie did not run with any of that. It's like sometimes for these properties, comic books turned live action, they totally derail from the comic books in order to make a good story, and then like the comic book fans have no idea what's going on. They derailed entirely from the comic books and made a terrible story, and nobody has any idea what's going on. It's just bad. It's really bad.
I mean, it didn't look good.
No.
When I watched the trailer and I saw that they're plucking Black Bolt straight out of their city and plopping him in the middle of New York in a suit, I was just like,
Hawaii.
crap.
It's Honolulu.
Oh, it's
but
Honolulu. Whatever, wherever it was, I was just like, crap. They don't
Let's
have
be honest.
a budget.
It's Canada, but
yeah.
I was just looking at it like, they don't have a budget.
Right.
I don't think they know what Inhumans are.
No.
And just after this trailer, I'm just like,
I feel
it's
awful.
not worth it.
I feel like as an industry person, I know what happened. Somebody tricked them into shooting on IMAX.
Yeah.
And they spent all their money on it. And it doesn't even look good. The sets don't look good. The CG doesn't look good.
They
well,
also
and they also hired the guy who did Iron Fist. Like this guy doesn't know comics.
I
Like,
loved
clearly.
Iron Fist enough. Like if this was half as good as Iron Fist, I would have had a good time.
This is not great.
And this was far worse.
So clearly he read some Iron Fist books and just skipped Inhumans. And well, if I could just attempt to read Iron Fist, I can fake my way through that.
She's
I can fake
got
my
a
way
lot
through
of
this.
red hair.
What's crazy is
I
that
think he browsed the covers of Inhumans comics.
And what's crazy is like I saw the trailers for this and the things before movies and just like the big hype that they were doing for it, and every piece of media that they shared for this looked horrible.
Yeah.
Even on the small screen.
Yeah.
So when I saw it on the big screen, I was like, oh wow, that actually looks worse. And the framing, like
I hope this isn't, no one's going to watch this and it's not a spoiler if you do. But in 6 episodes, 2 main characters have died and come back to life. It's like really classic
They
comic
had
book.
an
Did
faux
Moffat
pas.
write this?
You'd think so.
They had an offsite installation at Comic-Con, and I stumbled on it, and they were like, free pizza. So I was like, okay. So I went in, and they gave me free pizza and candy and popcorn.
And it
so
turns out it was actually all made of dirt, and you're like, this isn't the pizza I know.
But then they gave you a little presentation, and I was just like, and then they were giving out posters, and I went up, and I was standing next to the poster table, and the guy was like, you want a poster? And I was like, I guess. And
Yeah.
then he gave me the poster, and I just kind of took it home and threw it in my closet. And like, I don't know what to do with this poster because no one's gonna want it.
No.
I was
and,
so excited
yeah.
to see Lockjaw.
Oh,
be
Lockjaw's
in a-
so great.
Lockjaw and Crystal are kind of redeeming.
Yeah,
They
Lockjaw.
are.
You could
They're the
watch
good
these
ones.
for those two.
They
yeah.
did a good job animating that.
But
Yeah.
Medusa is my favorite character.
Oof.
And it looks like they just had no idea how to deal with her.
I mean, they shaved her head in the first episode.
They
I
did.
can't. Yeah. And then the first.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch it.
End of the first episode.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they shave her head. She's
So-
spending. I don't know if I've stopped watching, so I don't know if she's getting her hair back. But
No.
No budget for that.
So she's just useless at
So
this
that's
point.
what they deal with the fact that they don't have a fucking budget to animate her hair. They
Right.
just get rid of it.
Her hair looked so good in the 2 or 3 scenes where they actually animated it, and then when they just let her lay with the flat wig, it's awful.
Wow.
I'm never gonna watch this.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm kind of more interested to watch it, but more like it's like car accident worthy. Of like,
It kind of is.
yeah, I just wish it wasn't 6 hours of my life that I have to spend to watch a car accident. But
It's just going. It's
You
just
can-
going
it's
on
background.
the pile of
Good
things I'm
background.
never
Yeah, that
going
works.
to get.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get a Tim Hunter movie.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get a good Inhumans.
I mean, it's got a lot of great actors in it. Like Lockjaw's still pretty great.
Yeah?
It's not. I mean, there was. I keep saying like there was something there. Like they have the Ramsey Bolton, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
his name is. He could have been.
He was a good casting choice for that character.
But he's
who
playing
does he play?
it- the brother
Maximus the Mad.
Yeah.
Ramsey Bolton.
So
He's a good
I don't-
choice.
I don't know. I didn't read the comic books. So I've only seen them like when they've appeared in other people's comic books. So, so I don't know how this is based on the comic or not. But my big thing was he could have been. There was a legitimate thing here of these people being high and mighty royal family and the 2 classes on this planet. Like, and all the poor people are just sort of. There's definitely a hierarchy of haves and have-nots.
Yeah.
That's not what this story is about.
Right.
And it could have been.
It should have been. I mean, it seems like it was supposed to be, which is actually a big plot point of the Inhumans comics, except the underclass in the comic books they're called alpha primitives. The Terrigen actually takes their brain backwards and they kind of become like half
Yeah.
primates.
The entirety of it. I'm sorry, I just stopped.
No,
you.
go ahead.
It's just the hierarchy in their world is determined by the mist,
Right.
And what powers you get.
And it's kind of touched on in the first episode,
Yeah.
but then totally glossed
Yeah,
over.
that's what I mean. Like if he had been a speaker speaking out for the people,
Right.
If they had instead like he was just like, you can't be like this to these people, you can't mistreat them, and had lured them into joining him in a revolution, that would have been a fucking story.
Which it like was halfway there.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was like clearly he's just power hungry.
Well,
and
yeah,
wants to
because
be
he
the
ended
leader.
up being just a straight up bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole, and there's nothing redeeming about him.
Kind of supposed to be.
But if they're gonna go off the comic books, then make him somewhat someone we side with, and go like.
in the comic books, he's a dirtbag.
no, but that's what you're saying. If you're going to
Yeah.
depart anyways, at least do something with the
Yeah,
character.
because that
Sorry.
would have
Yeah.
been a better story to have
Right.
somebody
Okay.
who were like, oh man, yeah, these Inhuman people are supposed to be heroes, but actually they're kind of like oppressing these people, and
Right.
maybe he does have a point. Put us in a moral conundrum. Don't be like good guy, bad guy. When
Yeah, if
that's
he-
just the weaker way to go.
If he didn't go to murder in the first episode or second episode, you could have been on his side for a good part of the season. But you immediately know he's the bad guy, and
also, you cast Ramsey Bolton,
and you cast Ramsey
He's
Bolton.
kind of got
yeah.
bad guy face.
yeah.
Now that I'm seeing, I'm like 1 or 2 episodes from the end. They actually this might be an origin story, and they might turn all these characters into the ones that we know from the comic books.
I wouldn't hold your breath.
I'm not gonna hold my breath for that, and we'll see where they go. Probably Maximus will be stopped instead, but. Second spoiler, he's actually a human. He has no superpowers, unlike the comic books.
Huh.
That's the whole thing with him is that he went through the Terrigen Mist and came out with nothing.
Isn't that supposed to kill you?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're not of their bloodline, it is.
But he had inhuman blood before he went in and came out with human blood.
Oh, so his power is
that-
that he gets stripped of everything?
Yeah, maybe.
weird.
I don't
That's
know.
awesome.
It
That's
doesn't
a
make any
strange
sense.
choice.
Yeah. It was a really strange choice. I mean, he
Sucks
doesn't
to be
have
him.
like laser beams or anything, but he's supposed to have like super calculated and manipulative
Yeah.
powers, which are kind of just like his charisma instead in the TV show.
Huh.
But we'll see if he like gains those powers over the course of the show, which he might.
I do appreciate that they gave me free pizza. I will say.
Well, at
Yeah,
least they
fair
have
enough.
that going for him.
They know they have to give away free pizza to get anyone in, so
I'm very glad we didn't go see it in IMAX because we debated on it. And
I did too.
Because
yeah.
That was such a weird choice.
It was just
God.
there's a
Bad
part of me that
choices.
was just like, I hope that it will be good, and then
Right.
nothing came out saying it wasn't even remotely good.
No,
Yeah.
it came out saying the exact opposite. It could not be worse.
I need to see the last episode has to be super super redeeming. Like we need to see Black Bolt actually
And
yell something and like take everyone out, and all sorts of powers need to start flying.
see. For my meter of where I stand on Marvel things is if Ryan says it's good, I know it's at least okay.
Yeah,
If he's saying it's bad, it's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to watching Anson Mount do a role where he wasn't allowed to say anything because I thought that was kind of cool. And initially, when I did see that preview at Comic-Con, I thought, okay, that's neat. There's some neat stuff here. I don't know. I'm willing. And there were some cool action sequences.
Yeah.
But, because they didn't show us a whole episode. They only showed us clips, and they showed us the best stuff.
Yeah.
That got me kind of interested. But, yeah, I was really looking forward to Anson Mount. But it's not. They're not, because they didn't, at least in his first few episodes, they didn't give him anything that made use of that.
A lot of people have a hard time writing a character that can't talk.
Yeah.
We could have gotten someone more emotive. Like, his face is very dry.
But
They
I think
James
he is an
Marsden.
emotive actor.
I believe that he
actor.
probably is, but not in this. And the other
it's-
thing is he has this whole sign language thing that he and Medusa go through. In the comics, it's a series of glances, and she
that's awesome.
knows
Yeah.
exactly what he's thinking. And that would make sense. But you think that if you've been communicating with your wife and the queen the entire time you're a ruler, that your people don't kind of pick up on it and learn the language.
That was the exact comment I had when I talked about it being my something I saw, or my where have you been doing when I brought it up, was like, I don't understand why the brother needs Medusa to translate. This is your brother. You don't know how to interpret his sign language?
That's another thing kind of from the comics. No, Maximus usually
but
kind of knows what he's
but
going
it makes
for
more
anyways.
sense if they don't have an actual sign language. If their entire conversation is based on glances,
Yeah.
then you're not going to be in tune with that person like your wife would be.
Right.
So it made more. You know what? We can stop talking humans. I'm gonna get really angry.
It works a lot better in comic books.
Yeah, that's hands down the whole show. The whole series works better in comics.
So for today's episode, the first thing I'm going to do, and this will probably require some pulling out of cell phones and whatnot to figure it out, but I want to recommend a movie that is out available for rent for somebody to watch tonight if they're listening to this episode right now. So any movie that's out for rent, you can dial it up a little bit, of something you've seen this year, something you've seen whenever, that you think somebody should go watch tonight with their family. Mine is terrible for families, which I'll just say right out of the gate, but I think it's one of the best movies so far this year. I'm going with Good Time.
Yeah, it's not a good family movie.
Not a great family movie unless your family is all over the age of 18. But it is, for my buck right now, it is up there with like Get Out and a few of the other movies that are like some of the best movies of the year. It's like this one got really no press because it has Robert Pattinson in it and people think he's a joke. And he's not. He is incredible and he is so good in this movie. And if you haven't seen it yet or heard of it, if you haven't heard of it, just take me at my word, watch the movie. Do not watch the trailer. The trailer gives stuff away, not terribly. It doesn't ruin the ride of the movie, but if you don't know anything, it'll be a much more enjoyable ride. That's mine.
I can take over from here. I have one that I actually have not seen yet. It comes out on DVD the Tuesday after we're recording, but by the time you're listening, it will be out. The Belko Experiment, the James Gunn film. I have heard nothing but good things. And I actually, Emily was really excited for Mayhem to come out this week.
Yep.
And I was talking to some friends of mine who saw it and said that Belko is a better movie. They're both good, but this is one I'm really excited to see on DVD.
Yeah, I have a few friends who saw it who said it's incredible, and then I have a few friends who saw it who said it's limited by its budget.
That's fair.
Like you can kind of see its budget on its sleeve. Like instead of like dialing things back and making them more look better, they just kind of said fuck it, and they did what they could with the money they had. So it just, there's parts that'll pull you out of the movie because they just look a little cheap.
That makes sense. But that's kind of James Gunn's style too. He's a little campy
But
sometimes.
I'm not. It sounds like he didn't have a lot to do with it because he was still fully in Guardians Land when he was making this. So it was really just he would come in, sit down with them, watch a cut, give some advice, and then leave. Like he was very hands off.
Oh, really?
But he helped produce it and give it money and that sort of stuff. So it's really just they put his name on it bigger because then people go see it. But he had very little to do with it. It sounds like he had more to do with
But
it.
he wrote it though. I believe,
but he had less to do with it than than what he had more to do with it than the people making the movie expected.
Right.
But not as much as they would have hoped.
I see.
Is what I heard.
That's fair.
But who knows? I mean, this is all fifth and seventh hand, so who knows? But
Yeah.
I still hear it's a good film. Good film, worth checking out.
I'm gonna recommend this little movie that no one has seen that is fucking great. It's called The Mating Habits of the Earthbound Human.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yep.
Oh, it's so good.
Has Carmen Electra in it, and I was a teenage boy. I've seen it.
Oh,
It's
that
so,
makes sense.
it's-
Wait, are we doing new movies this year? Or?
Any movie,
You
any
can-
movie you recommend.
Any movie, and it's on DVD. I don't know if it's streaming. I was just looking. But it's Mackenzie Astin and Carmen Electra, and it's basically a romantic comedy, but it's told by the voiceover of David Hyde Pierce as if it is an instructional video for aliens to learn about how humans mate and mating rituals. So And it's done like a nature documentary. So whenever they want to demonstrate, like when they use a diaphragm, or because they used to use diaphragms, boys and girls, when they use a diaphragm, or when they use condoms, or when they use birth control or whatever, these guys dress up like sperm and run on a track and to demonstrate what happens. So when it's like a condom, they just run into a wall. It's fucking great. Carmen Electra. Her acting, okay.
It's the best she's ever done.
It's yeah. She's trying, man.
I will give her that. She did try.
She did try very hard.
She did not just phone it in. She did
and
try.
she does look fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And the truth is, this dude is very lucky to have gotten a girl who looks like this. But yeah. So it's, and he's also kind of a dick.
Oh,
like,
totally.
That's the thing. Is like the
Why'd
whole
you look at
movie,
me
you're
when
like,
you said that?
No, but like the whole time you're like, it's actually one of the more interesting things is she's actually, I don't know if it's because this movie is from the 90s. I think it's from or early 2000s.
I want to say like 2001.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
That's the 90s.
I don't,
Essentially.
but like I don't, or if we're supposed to feel this way, but she seems really insecure. Like she's someone who is very like. Has no confidence in herself, and that's always the subtext of every scene. Mark Blucas is in this movie as an old boyfriend who punches Mackenzie Asens. Pretty great. I love Mark Blucas. He was on Buffy. Anyway.
That movie, I'm going to interrupt again. The movie has the best conversation about condoms I've ever heard.
Great.
And it's when they go to buy a condom from an old woman who is sold out of condoms, and it is fucking hysterical.
She keeps calling them rubbers.
Yeah, rubbers. It's so fucking funny.
It's just, this movie is highly entertaining. I recommend it, and I just never get and a lot of times when I start dating someone new, I immediately force them to watch it. It's because it's so
I will say, you're one of the first people I've met who's actually seen it. Usually I bring it up and people are like, pass. It's like, no, it's really, really good.
Really good.
All right, I'm going to go with a multiple movie thing.
Okay. What is
it's
it?
something that I have not been able to invest in yet, and I wanted to. All of Miyazaki's Studio Ghibli films were re-released in October.
Ooh.
From G Kids, which is trying to get more American kids into anime and such. And if you've never watched any of the Studio Ghibli films with your children, particularly if you have daughters, it's what's the word? Disservice to not show it to them, because for the lack of American films that service having females as the lead and dealing with hard issues and being the hero at the end by being able to take care of themselves, anime does that all the frickin' time. It's almost a hallmark of it, with the special female in anime being special and being able to do things, and it's great.
And Miyazaki does it.
No, Miyazaki does it fantastically. And he doesn't do any weird upskirt shots that a lot of anime does.
She's the best in the world, and look at her underwear.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at it.
Those underwears are the best in the world.
Princess Mononoke, even though you're following a dude around the whole time, fantastic character in The Princess.
Spirited Away.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just not talking
You
well
look
this
like
morning.
you're blanking on it.
That's what I was rambling.
Aunt
But
May.
Aunt May and Spirited Away. She's so good.
But Spirited Away, like, I got to see that movie in theaters after it won an Oscar for Best Foreign Film, and it blew me away. Like, that movie is grand and just beyond anything I'd really seen before. I mean, I'd been watching anime, but Spirited Away was fucking beautiful.
Is that the one with the house?
No, that's
Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, right. Duh. It's in the title.
Spirited Away is all about a girl who she wants to be independent but doesn't really understand what that means. And then her parents get turned into pigs, and she has to get them not to be turned into pigs anymore. And she has to go on these weird quests. There's a dragon. There's a thing that wants money but also wants to eat you. And just not to get into too many details, it's so fantastical.
Fucking gorgeous.
Gorgeous, fantastical. And as a girl who loved fantasy growing up, I wished I'd seen more movies like this growing up. I mean, I loved The Neverending Story. I loved Labyrinth. But, I mean, in Labyrinth, the girl's just kind of annoying. She's like, this isn't fair! all the freaking time.
What would you say is the best starting point? Like
The
for
first,
kids. Like if you like the
My
youngest
Neighbor Totoro.
Neighbor Totoro.
That, it's
You
about...
wouldn't go Ponyo?
I haven't actually seen Ponyo.
Ponyo feels like the most kids film. My Neighbor Totoro still has some really heavy moments.
My Neighbor Totoro is about two little girls dealing with the fact that their mother's dead.
Yeah, Ponyo doesn't have anything like that. Ponyo is a kids movie.
Yeah. But, I mean, when you're a kid, you just kind of gloss over the fact that their mother's gone. You just see the Totoro, who's a big puffy bear who plays a whistle, and there's a cat bus, and it's amazing, and it's whimsical, and it's just there's so much joy you get from watching Ghibli films while you're getting like life lessons that you don't get from other films, and you should watch them with your kids.
Cool.
And we do.
You've been watching them with Karina pretty often?
Yeah. She really likes them. Like, she'll pay attention to them. There's a clear, like, she doesn't care about live action yet. That's still pretty boring. But she watches the Ghibli films about as attentive as she watches everything else that she watches.
Yeah.
Karina's what? 3?
4.
4? What's her favorite?
I think it would be Totoro.
Totoro?
Yeah. We won't, like, I'm counting it as far as how many times we've rewatched it. That one we've watched more.
How far off the mark am I? Does she see Ponyo? Does she like Ponyo?
Yeah, she likes it well enough. But like
Totoro's
we haven't had to watch it again recently, as far as I can tell.
If only Making My Garden Grow was as easy as it is in Totoro, where you just go. I mean, I'm doing the hand motion. You can't see right now.
Did you catch that, audience?
All they got was
It's great. I love
It's that cat bus. The cat bus really does it.
yeah.
the cat bus.
John, last but not least.
So maybe one that's not a great movie, but still very fun. I've been watching a lot of like bad movies on Netflix just because I'm in an ordinary watching mood. Which one of those was the Final Girl, which was just, but it's Abigail Breslin and like
Okay.
I confused it with a different movie and I realized that about 10 minutes in I was like, well, I just started watching this and I'm bored.
I was thinking the one with Thomas Middleditch, which was surprisingly funny but not perfect. But I don't
Right.
remember what that one was called.
Wait, which ones? Didn't we like Final Girl?
It's basically the one where
Not-
a bunch of guys in suits send out women out in the woods and hunt them down like in Los Angeles.
Did not see that.
That's
sounds
not the one I'm
great.
thinking.
But in the movie, she plans for that. She knows what they're up to, and she tricks them. So it's her hunting them the whole time. And
It's the
it
most dangerous game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it plays out
Or The Pest.
Yeah, plays out in the exact way you expect. No surprises. But that's not the one I wanted to talk about. I saw The Babysitter on Netflix.
I saw that too. Yeah.
And it was funny. I was going into it like kind of like, oh, this is gonna be trash. It's gonna be whatever. But it was surprisingly funny and cheeky, and had fun moments and fun kills, and it was fun. And I think if you want kind of a no stakes fun movie, that was a good one to pick. It kind of cleans out the like choice paralysis because you're like,
Okay.
oh, that looks fun. Bunch of attractive kids and knife stabbings in the head and violence, uber violence, and just a lot of fun stuff.
I've had that recommended a number of times now. I feel like I should probably watch
Yeah,
it.
it's fun. And
Stick with it. The first act is kind of slow.
yeah,
Okay.
The one we liked was Final Girls.
yeah.
Was that the one with Thomas Middleditch? And
Is that their name?
now I'm blanking on her name. The girl from Watchmen and
Lake Bell?
Yeah, the
No.
blonde.
Malin
Ackerman?
Ackerman.
Yes, Malin Ackerman.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out which of these two movies I have also been recommended between Final Girl and Final Girls.
Final Girls it's kind of like Last Action Hero but for horror movies.
That's the one.
Yeah,
I'm
where-
So that's the one I was kind of thinking it
Good.
was,
Yeah.
but then I was like, oops.
It's not
you watch the Final Girl instead. Copy
it's
that.
not perfect, but there's moments of brilliance.
Yeah.
All right, so the second part of this episode is any movie from 2017 that you have not seen. That's any movie, including movies coming out in December, that you want to see or regret not seeing or anything like that.
Oh, I didn't know that was next. I would have saved the Belko experiment.
Yeah, you know,
Wait. Movies that are coming out in theaters or movies that are coming out like on available.
just
on
any movie has to come out in the calendar year of 2017.
Which
And
means-
I'm going to go
Could've been the
real
past,
real
yeah.
obvious with this one, Star Wars. I want to see what Rian Johnson has done with this franchise
Yeah.
because I was not overly smitten with episode 7. I enjoy it. I think it's a good movie. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. But I blame 99% of that on Abrams because I think Abrams is just kind of a good director. Whereas Rian Johnson, I think, is a very good director. And the fact that they gave him a whole trilogy of his own based
Yeah.
on how good he did on this movie, my expectations have been considerably raised.
Yeah.
And I just think he does better with characters. Like I'm really excited to see, based on the building blocks that Abrams gave him, which was basically a TV pilot, I want to see how he ran with that because I think he will crush it, and I'm hoping I'm right. I was not super excited for Rogue One. I thought it was going to be good, and then I was blown away by it. I was very excited for Episode 7, and then I was underwhelmed. So I'm kind of in the same boat now that I was with Rogue One, where I'm not super excited for it, but I'm very interested to see where it's going, and I'm very excited. And it says something that I'm saying Star Wars over Justice League right now. Because Justice League, I know I'm gonna like it. Star Wars, I don't. So that's my number one right now.
Disaster Artist.
Okay.
Oh
I'm
my God, yes.
So excited. I love the book. I listened to it on audiobook while I was walking the dog usually, and I would just be like, oh my God. Like,
Who reads it?
Greg.
Greg reads it?
Yeah, Greg reads it.
Nice.
And so he does accents. So, cause he knows Tommy's accent. So
Yeah.
every time he does Tommy's accent, he's just like killing it. Like the whole book. It's so great. I that first trailer they released of him like, no, I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Like, I think I watched that trailer like 8 times in a row. It was just so funny so I can't wait for it.
I almost wish they'd never released an actual story trailer because that
I
trailer,
know.
I was so
You
in
need
at that
anything
one
else.
trailer.
And the hero of the movie is the script supervisor. So I always want to see scripties being the heroes. So I'm gonna be very excited about that movie.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with the movie that we missed, because there's plenty of movies I'm looking forward to, and I don't need to go down that route. But Logan Lucky,
Yeah.
we didn't get around to seeing that, and we like Steven Soderbergh, and we like Daniel Craig, and we like Channing Tatum, and we like Adam Driver,
yeah.
and we like pretty much everyone in it.
We just ran out of time.
Yeah, you can't see every movie. It gets difficult
God.
when you're an adult and work a full-time job and stuff.
Did anybody read the interview with Soderbergh that came out this week? It was fascinating. It was all about Mad Max Fury Road. Because he just is like, I don't know how George Miller did it. He's like, and I consider myself a rather accomplished director, but I watched this movie and I don't know how I don't know how they're not still filming it and hundreds of people aren't dead. It doesn't make sense to me.
And
Preparation.
was Logan
Take
Lucky
notes.
successful?
Yeah, it did all right.
Because I know that it was one of those experiments on self-funding or something like
It
that.
did not change the game like they were hoping it was going to, but it did all right to wake it. It wasn't a complete wash,
Okay.
but it'll make future movies like that difficult.
Yeah, the same Valerian didn't do well either, and it's going to make future movies like that difficult.
Well, Valerian just wasn't for everybody.
Yeah. That's a shame. But Logan
It was for
Lucky-
me.
I loved it, but I get why people don't.
Yeah, we liked it, but whatever. Logan Lucky, I hope we can get to it at some point. It looked really funny, like genuinely hilarious. And it had, of course, the Sonnenberg yellow. He loves yellow. That's one gripe I'll always have with him. I'm like, can we just stop saturating everything with yellow? I just kind of feel like everything's a pea cover on it. But
It works for some of it. It really worked in the what's it called? The Informant.
yeah,
That color tone really worked because it's
It
all
looked-
about corn, so it's already
yeah,
kind of
it looked
yellow.
a little bit better there. It annoyed me in Magic Mike.
Filters.
Yeah.
Instagram filters, the movies.
I like blue, which I know everybody else does too.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-dee.
I like purple. Can you tell?
Then you love Lynn Wiseman movies, I guess.
Probably.
That man only works in blue.
I like blue and green. Blue and green.
He also
Wanna
works
make
in
me
just
happy?
terrible movies.
Aw.
Someday I'm going to make an entire room. It'll probably be like a side room because Brian won't let me do it otherwise. It's just blue and green, everything. The wall, the floor, the furniture. It'll be great.
I'd
You
be
were
okay
just
with that.
complaining that the Green Lantern was too green.
Yeah, but I was trying to take him down.
That was in the middle of a
Horribly.
battle.
I'd be okay with that. Let's make sure
They
somebody
needed
has
blue
Green Lantern symbols.
lanterns. That's what his movie needed, some hope.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a Blue Lantern keychain.
Yeah, you haven't even shown it to me yet.
It's on a wall. Just look at it.
Marriage.
Marriage. So a lot of my like movies that I've missed, wish I could have seen, wish to see, hope to see, kind of plan to see. A lot of them are kind of, there's a lot of overlap. Like I agree. Like I'm on the same boat with you, Brian, with Star Wars. That's like I don't like Episode 7. Like I get what people do like about it. I like the things that are cool about it, but
I like the movie.
Yeah.
I just didn't love it like I was hoping to.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
It's a good movie. It's just not.
It didn't make me cry, which I wanted it to.
Yeah.
and it just
But
it
Rogue
was-
One took care of that.
Oh, I cried during that.
it was a very for me it was a very TV Star Wars that didn't get me excited for the next one. And then hearing more about it with Rian Johnson and liking his movies a lot, I was like, okay, yeah. So like there is some hype for that with a bit of caution. But yeah, I mean they gave him a trilogy out of this, so clearly some people are happy with it. And if it's doing its own thing, if he does his own thing with it, that's kind of where my hype is. And then let's see what Emily's talked about, Get Out. Like I haven't seen it yet, and I do plan to, but considering my week is just gone from me, schedule wise, and like just these things tend to escape. These movies tend to escape, and I don't like that. So I'm going to hopefully see it before the year is out, and that's the one I'm really going to try.
Do you get screeners?
I don't get screeners.
Oh, okay. 'Cause they're sending out screeners.
No, that'd be cool.
Only producers,
Yeah.
people on the board, and assistant directors get screeners.
My roommate's PGA, so we get all the
Yeah.
Producer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's. I have no reason not to see it, but it's a lot of things just tend to get in the way. And sometimes at night when I want to watch those trashy horror movies or just I want to watch trashy movies, it's like, no, I'm not in the frame of mind to really get that. And it sucks because like I could watch it like tonight. Well, not tonight necessarily because I'm gonna be out till about 1 a.m. watching movies.
Too many movies, not enough
Come-
time.
Hey man, I heard you like movies, so I put some movies in your movies.
Yeah. But like, so I also missed like War for the Planet of the Apes. I'm curious about it, and
Yeah, me too.
Just haven't had a chance to see it.
I loved it so much.
And I'm excited.
It'll be on the calendar. Don't worry. You'll get to that one.
Yeah. Well, that's what's so great about
We'll
this
get to
podcast.
Monkey Monkey.
Yeah, that'll probably be in December at some point. I fucking love that movie.
And then lastly, I'm also excited for the movie Coco.
I heard that's really good.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good. I liked. There was another cartoon a little
Day of
while
the
ago
Dead.
that did Day of the
Or Book of the Dead.
Day of the
What is
Dead.
it?
Book of Life. Book of Life.
Book of Life?
I really liked Book of Life, and it was a little too weirdly animated for Karina's taste, but I really liked it, and I think this one will go over better with her. But I'm excited for it because it's a movie we can all go to as a family, and there's not a lot of those. Like, it's a really dry moment right now. Otherwise, they would have been at a movie today. But it's like, what's out for kids? Nothing. Or that My Little Pony movie, which we're like, don't put that one.
I
kind of want to take
my
I kind of want to take my movie pass and go see My Little Pony just to. I'm afraid I wouldn't be the only guy in my 30s there though, and I'd be there ironically, and the rest of them would be full blown bronies, and I don't really want to hang out with them.
Shabroni. I always wanted.
Shabroni.
Did anyone watch that fake trailer for Michael Bay My Little Pony movie?
Yeah, it's pretty
No,
great.
that sounds pretty
I
good.
kind of wish that was a real thing. Like the My Little Ponies are actually coming down to Earth, and all their sparkle and glitter to destroy us.
I'd watch the shit out of it. I mean,
I'll tell you something that I think is going to be a guilty pleasure for me coming up is Jumanji.
Oh, I can't wait to
heard
see
they
that.
were
We
remaking
should put some fucking
Jumanji.
pants on, but
Dude,
okay.
they're
And
in
I went,
a video game.
I know, but she's
It's
gonna
a video
she's
game.
gonna get eaten alive by mosquitoes. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, she
not practical.
even makes fun of that in the trailer. What am
Right.
I wearing?
Yeah, I know.
That's why, after, they announced it. And I said we don't need that, and then they announced the cast. And I'm like, oh, we definitely don't need that. And then I saw the trailer. And I'm like, oh, this probably is going to be decent.
I like that they
It's
didn't
self-aware.
copy the original Jumanji.
Yeah.
They went to a new route.
And come on, it's got The Rock and Kevin Hart, and just the dynamic between those two guys is
And
going to be
Jack
fun.
Smith.
and or Jack Black.
Jack Black. I can't say the right names today.
Yeah, but I'm not positive
Who the
Jack
fuck is
Black
Jack
is
Smith?
going to have anyone to act with. I feel
Not
like
me.
his whole character is going to be I used to be a hot girl, now I'm Jack Black, and that's going to be the extent of it.
I thought the same thing. I mean, obviously different, but same thing with Tropic Thunder. Like when
Yeah.
I heard he's in Tropic Thunder, I'm like,
You
what's he gonna have
nailed it.
anything to do in Tropic Thunder? And he was one of my favorite
That's
parts of
true.
the whole movie.
That's true. So we'll
Jack
see.
Black is kind of he's more of a he's not like your leading man, but he's a
terrible
good
leading man.
support guy.
I've been saying this for a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even liked
with the
him
exception
in
of School of Rock.
That was
he was great in
decent.
School of Rock.
the Goosebumps movie.
Yeah, he was good
Like
in
he
that.
made me
Oh, I
like
didn't
that
see
movie.
that. Okay.
I've watched that movie twice now. That movie's way better,
Better than
I-
you were expecting. Yeah.
It's so much better than I thought it was going to be. And now I hear they cut him
Watch
out
that
of the
with your
sequel,
kids.
and I'm kind of annoyed about that because I really liked him in that one. But Logan Lerman can come back. I like Logan Lerman. It's not a problem. I'm just annoyed that Jack Black won't be back.
You guys keep talking about. Sorry to change it, but you keep talking about episode 8. I just keep thinking about my roommate Brian Scully and his friend wrote a screenplay called The Making of Episode 8.
Oh,
which
yeah.
you heard of it?
I followed them all on Twitter.
Yeah,
so
I should
yeah.
send that around to you guys because it's really funny.
I do
They
wanna read
basically
it.
Imagine Ryan Johnson making the movie and all the hijinks and stuff, and Carrie Fisher's in it, and they wrote Max Landis into it, and it's just
For that.
it's really fucking absurdly funny. Obviously, they don't expect to do anything with it, but they just sent it out as a work sample and just to entertain people. And now they actually have started working on the next one. They're going to do a sequel to a script that they can't send to anyone.
Awesome.
Making episode 9.
Yeah, the making. I think they're doing a making of episode 9. So
Yeah. Colin Trevorrow
and then
being
how
it?
he gets fired and everyone goes, "Yay!"
God, what a confidence destroyer! Like you were fired, and the entire world celebrates.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, maybe start treating your women with respect.
yeah.
maybe don't make Book of Henry.
Where the 12-year-old boy makes his mom into a dullard.
Yeah. Oh. It's another movie that I want to watch. I know I shouldn't, but I'm like, how bad could it be? I hear it's pretty bad. That was everything I had planned for this episode. Anything else? Nope. Nope.
Rate
Nope.
and reviews?
Rate and
Subscribe?
reviews. Yes, please rate and review. I haven't been saying that in a while. Rate and review. Subscribe on pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast, except for Spotify.
But we do have a playlist on Spotify.
That's true. And it changes every week. I don't know what this week is because we have not decided yet because we'll decide that next week.
Probably Thanksgiving.
Probably.
Things you're thankful
Who's
for.
up next week?
For what?
For choosing. So it was John last week.
Oh,
It's
boy.
me this week.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
You. I think it's you.
Well, no, it won't be Chewie, won't it?
Or me.
It's one of the three of us.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a weird time travel thing.
Yeah, no,
we're-
time travel's
yeah.
a bitch, man.
Happening?
Yeah.
Wibbly wobbly.
If I could go back in time, I'd undo
Timey-wimey.
that.
But yeah, you should definitely subscribe to our playlist. It's ATH's Music Palooza.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
And
correct?
make sure to have that comma in there.
Or
Otherwise-
apostrophe.
Apostrophe. Have that apostrophe in there.
It's a
Otherwise,
comma, but
you
like
don't
way up
find it.
high.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that people have told me they've had a problem with.
Yeah. But yeah, it changes every week. And then what's the name of our second one? Where you can get all of the music?
It's just the past Musicapalooza.
Past Music Palooza.
Yeah.
There's links on our website.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Because the
athpod.com.
one, I don't know how time travel was, what this means, but the one that we did this week, like I write a lot of action movies, and I'm totally going to keep it because basically, as I was mixing music together, I was just like,
Yeah, there have been times where I copy this whole thing into my own personal little
Yeah.
playlist that I
Yeah, yeah.
save. Yeah.
And do that. Copy and paste it. And this is mainly just to get you inspired to listen to music.
Yeah.
I found a lot of music that I was like, wouldn't necessarily go to right away.
You mean
I
you
went-
mean like Drowning Pool of Bodies?
I went on Twitter because I was frustrated since it was all like ass kicking songs. I couldn't find a lot of songs by women, and particularly women of color. And so I went on Twitter and I was like, need more songs by women about violence that make me want to kick open doors. And I got
You forgot Lil' Kim.
No, somebody recommended Little Kim. I went with a different couple songs. Army of Me by Bjork, and then
Yeah.
which I'd
Oh, that's a
forgotten
great
about.
choice.
I was like, fuck, I forgot about Army of Me. That's perfect. And then I think a whole Violet, and then there was another song, Working Girls, by an artist I'd never heard of. So I was like, cool, I'm throwing that in there.
Yeah,
some good
because-
ones.
Yeah, so it's the hive mind is very helpful for finding things. So now our podcast has songs on it that you may not have heard.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We've been doing a really good job lately
We
of
had Army of
digging
Me on
deep
Wonder Woman.
songs.
Yeah.
Oh, do we?
I think it's worth subscribing to at this point.
Yeah, the Justice League list is very wide array so far.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I haven't even gotten my songs in
Apparently,
there.
Spice Girls are not welcome on this list.
Sorry.
That's
I
not
was
true.
feeling very
That's not
nitpicky
true at
last
all.
night, I guess.
Very
Super
welcome.
group.
Well, when I
How
came up
was
with the
I
idea,
know
I didn't necessarily intend it
Spice
to be
Girls don't count
exclusionary.
as a fucking super group.
No, they're a super group, but they're not like a super group.
What the fuck is a super group in quotation?
All right, we're gonna move on. We can discuss this when we're done recording. So, happy Thanksgiving to
Happy
everybody who's
Thanksgiving.
listening
Yeah!
today. Happy Black Friday, everybody after that, and happy whatever the fuck day it is. If
Fuck
you're not
yeah.
on either one of those.
Eat that fried turducken.
Get your leftovers.
Watch a Tom Hanks movie.
Eat a vegetable.
Do whatever you want. It's Thanksgiving.
Tom
You want to
Hanksgiving.
run around naked in your yard? It's fine.
Go for it. It's
You
Thanksgiving,
know what?
man.
You
Where-
can't call the cops on Thanksgiving.
Wear nothing but an apron and fry some
Is
turkey, all
Thanksgiving
right?
the purge?
Thanksgiving, aka the purge.
You better stop this recording quick before we get in trouble.